and wherever. Um, Welcome to Simply Live with me. I'm Simply Lesa, and that's because I'm just Lesa. I don't belong to my old family. I don't belong to my ex-husband. I'm just me. Y'all getting a shot of whatever this morning. Okay. That we take a little quick walk this morning. Good morning, Mary and Iris. Whoops. I put it above my head. It's hard to take make the tripod shorter without doing that. Whoops. Oh yeah, do that and do that so that can go down. And we can do this. We're going to go for a little walk this morning. And George and Tammy, good morning. Miss Wendy, where are you? Oh, you're waiting outside. What a good girl. Okay. So let me try to get this just a little more straight. I have 85% battery, so we ought to be good. I have no idea. Y'all know how the signal's been since I came back home. So, and I probably ought to tilt this as I tell you everything I'm doing so I can hold the handle different. And then we're going to go for a walk. Whoops, whoa. Tighten it first, Lesa. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Oh, it's crooked. That helps. You know, I said, come on. And then I went, wait, well, I should take them for a walk today. You could hear me okay today? Yeah, I'm not a big, y'all know I do pass and different holidays. There's Miss Wendy. Um, and so for me, this is the end of a calendar year, not the end of like a spiritual year. So I feel like I do just a little different. Yep, I wanted to turn the tripod a little more, and it can't freaking do it. This we'll talk about change. There we go. I got it to go. All right, that was how change happens and stuff. Now, we're probably aware that TJ Shack sent me money to buy a windproof microphone. And I so wanted to do that, but then my engine blew. And they knew that I had to take the money. I asked them about it. I took the money to do something else with it. And so I don't have, I should take a chair. I don't have a windproof microphone right now. We're coming back in to get this stool because it's the easiest one to take. Come on, little girl. Come on, come on. Yeah, and this stool does not have a shoulder strap, which would have been nice. I got this stool that I grabbed. I got at a Walmart in Yuma. It was in the garden section. You guys haven't seen much of my bathhouse and stuff like that, but we'll talk about that too. I'm not talking about it right now. So we're coming over here. I think we'll go up on the hill today, which means I have to move I'm working on it. Soon the white one will be the gate, not the brown one. I'm working on it. Wendy can get out, so I need to do the chicken wire down low. But the problem with the chicken wire is I only have so much. So I need to cut that chicken wire in half. The tall way. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So that I can have enough, about 15 inches up, and go a lot. All this brown fencing like this, not the white, not the old white stuff, but all this brown stuff, Wendy can get out between the slats. and it's what, 50 feet of it or something. So we're walking up my little pathway, and I'm going to let you see what's along the way. Look at this. I need some solar batteries to replace the light, the batteries in my lights. And yes, you're seeing stuff. And I try to be careful with anything that's found in the area. And there's not a lot of rock here. There's a lot of caliche. And so I just edge the walkway with whatever I find. And when friends come to visit, like Melinda the other day, she was like, "Oh, Lesa, can I go straighten up a couple of..." Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Go play with the edge. You know, these rocks right there in the center, right there by my toe, probably were on the edge at one point as edging, but they've, moved because wind and weather and animals. Let's come up here this morning. It's a pretty sunny, not too cold morning. Oh, I forgot the stump was up here. That's bad when I forgot my own stuff, right? But I think we'll sit here. You can see that. I think we'll sit here and talk today. Miss Wendy, where are you? Let me see you, please. Wendy, let me see you, please. It's so nice. Now, I don't know if that sunshine is so much in your eyes. I don't know. Losing signal? I just saw that comment. Let me check. I can't even see the signal. Is it going to let me see signal? Oh, there we go. I have to come up from the bottom. Nope, I got 5 bars sitting up here. So let's hope 5 bars is good enough. Don't I have a lovely spot? I know I have a lovely spot. I could share it with you this morning. Miss Wendy, let Mama see you, please. Where are you? Wendy seems to be very safe and comfortable here. She's a hunter, and she will hunt rats and rodents, and she's doing really good. So let's see. So you said, so losing signal, but my signal from here looks like I've got 5 bars. So maybe when I'm walking, it's worse. But do you still have me, maybe? Okay. Okay, we'll let it be that. I'm going to turn you back around. See, whoa, sunshine in my eyes. Woohoo! So good morning, Wendy. Oh, good Lord! Can you see how? Wait a minute. Turn the camera around, Lesa. There you go. Can you see her way down there? Wendy, come. She is way down in the canyon. Wendy. She's way down in the canyon. I have not walked her down there yet, but she's down there. That girl, she's turning out to be a really good dog, but she's so brave. I think she would fight coyotes. I don't know. That's a little bit, you got to let dogs be dogs and animals do what they do naturally, but it does makes me a little nervous sometimes. So she is way, let me turn it back around again. I hope you all can get some of these pictures. She's way 2-3 trees over, way over. Wendy! But I know she'll get on the trail of those rats and stuff, and she'll just go. Well, there's nothing I can do, because I cannot. Getting down in there is fun. And even if I did, if something was an emergency or happening to her, I'm not sure I could get to her before something would eat her or whatever. Deep breath and have some faith, right? Now, I've come all the way out here with you all, and I left my notes in the house. So I'm going to wing it. So, thank you, Iris. 46 in Quartzite. Yeah, that's I remember my first year in Ehrenberg 2 weeks before the RTR, so late December, early January in Ehrenberg. My first year, 17 degrees with 70 to 90 mile an hour winds and rain. Almost a week. That was hard because I wasn't prepared for it. That was really hard. And that was when we really realized how allergic to propane I was, because somebody stuck a Mr. Buddy heater in my van. And I had Van Tucket at the time. And that did not work. I about died. They were within 2 hours. They were like, "We're going to kill her ass. Get that thing out of there." So that's what happened with that. So, okay. So, hi. Oh, Donna K. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So, 18 in Iowa. Okay. So, yesterday and last night, today, pretty warm. I have my jacket. Well, okay, sleeveless shirt underneath, but I have my jacket on, and I don't even have it zipped up. It's been pretty warm. 2 nights ago, if I'm saying it right, I think it was 9 degrees. So it's, in that fluctuating thing it does where it, we, oh, hey, hi, there you are. Come on up. Come on up. Come. Oh, what a good girl. Look at that. Say hi to everybody. Oh, hi, everybody. I came back. I found my mama. Oh, she's such a big hunter. Okay, can we sit here and talk to people? So, it's in that fluctuating weather thing where it gets cold, pretty cold, and especially around a full moon, and then it warms up, and then it gets cold, but the cold is colder, and pretty soon it will start going the other way, and it will go from cold and colder to she going right down the hill. It'll start switching around in the end of January, I think it is. It switches around to where it starts going. It's cold, then it gets a little bit warmer, and then, but it's like on a chart, right? It's like a wave pattern, and it just consistently starts getting warmer and warmer, starting sometime in January, early February. But up here, I used to say leave by Thanksgiving and don't come back until after Passover. And that way you could miss all the snowstorms. But the snowstorms aren't bad, and it is beautiful up here. I mean, I love where I live. And I say where I live. I didn't used to call it that because it was just my property until COVID happened. And changes. Yeah, change. And here we go with a new calendar year happening. And so, sure, like most people, I think about, well, it's going to be 2024. What do I want to do different? But I do that even in a bigger way, and probably a more ethical, spiritual side of things around Passover as well. Because I'm aware that, like, Passover is the start of spring and seasonal things. And it was, if my information was right from years ago, it was the actual original calendar year started then until some other cultures got involved and changed the natural order of things or whatever. So, CC Noel, good morning. Thank you. That's wonderful. Well, we're awfully glad to have you here. I have a great group of friends that come out on Sundays, And we sometimes ramble and talk. And I'm going to turn the camera around because Wendy's kind of close by. Some days I can't do it today. I can't make the phone camera go zoom in, but some days I can. Today it's not working for me. But she's running around a little closer. I thought you'd like to watch that. I see her tail every once in a while. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we can let her explore. So thank you, Cece. I feel very blessed to have what I have. Um, and the average person does not know where I'm at. You got to be kind of special for me to let you come here. I learned my lessons years ago when I first got the property, and I had open invitation get together camp out things, and I had problems with van dwellers that be, you know, and so I don't do it that way anymore. So this is my place to take care of me. And yeah, the sun's in my eyes. I'm squinting quite a bit. Um, and when I woke up this morning, I was like, wow, I just feel wiped out. I had a rough start yesterday. I'm kind of rambling today. Like I said, I left the notes in the house when I grabbed the stool to come out here. When I changed my mind about what I was doing. Um, but I want to talk about how do I, because I get asked a lot about how do you manage change? Because you just seem to be, you just have lots and lots and lots of change. Well, I do. And I learned to embrace change and to love it. And that happened a long time ago for me. So then I just developed habits that sometimes it's hard to think about in order to tell somebody what do I do. But I want to lead in with I want you to know that I get overwhelmed just like any other human being. And I noticed, especially yesterday, I was so overwhelmed by the time I got to the farmer's market yesterday. I was going to give away free coffee yesterday at the farmer's market, the local one, just as a way to get in some social interaction with other people. And I had put an announcement on their Facebook group, and it had been deleted by one of the admins. And and then I didn't know why it was deleted. And then I'd asked about it, and nobody would give me an answer, and the person that did it wouldn't talk to me. And anyways, and then I got to farmer's market and I went to set up, and somebody pulls out a burn barrel, and I was like, but I brought a fire pit. And they were like, so I was like, okay. And they said, we don't need yours. And I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I got, I don't know what, I just felt weird. And it just kept going downhill and downhill and downhill. And then nobody wanted coffee. And I was like, you know what? Forget y'all. I'm going to make myself my cup of coffee because I didn't get one at home. And I'm packing all this shit back up in my car. Stuff, sorry. And we'll see what happens. And I packed everything back up, and people were coming over. How come you didn't set up? Well, first off, I got blocked into a corner where nobody could have got to me anyways. And by the people setting up. And these people kind of, I felt like they were thumbing their nose at me, like, you're not hearing them. Yeah, well, who are you? You're new. And I'm like, I am not new. Y'all wouldn't even have a farmer's market if it wasn't for the 5 of us who said, yes, we want one. Let's keep working on it. You wouldn't have signs if I didn't paint them. So come on, guys, get a clue. Anyways, it's just And so I was not in a good space yesterday. And so, but I did get some social interaction. I had a nice visit with Leanne, and I did call the admin that deleted the post and lit into her, which you guys don't see that very often. But I just went, I just can't understand why you hate me so much that you think it's not okay for me to give people free coffee. She was like, well, I don't love everybody, but I don't hate you. I was like, okay, you want to talk? She talked a little bit. And so I'm glad I brought it up and I went that way, right? That I handled it that way. I don't believe everything that got said, but it's okay. It's okay. People get to be and say what they want, and it's not hurting me. So, but I feel better because I'd been feeling this chip on my shoulder kind of thing about feeling like I wasn't good enough or it wasn't okay for me to be around or I don't know what. Whatever. I'm seeing some new names. No, just Cece. Okay. Um, oh, is Babs here too? Oh, Babs, hey girl. Am I missing people's names? Um, so so yesterday was kind of like so I didn't even set up. I was like, I had a good cup of coffee. And Matt had a good cup of coffee. And so it was okay. It was okay. I'll try again next Sabbath. Try it again. But because it's Saturday for me, I don't care what you do in with your belief system. I care what I do with mine. But anyway, I I'll I don't sell things on Sabbath. And our farmers market now has other days that we can be out there. So if I need to sell something, I can do it on a Wednesday or Thursday or something. There's just not a lot of people. Oh yeah, isn't it? Mary said, "I feel you, Lesa. It's so hard to shine that stuff on." Yeah, it is. It's like, oh, please. But anyways, so I got through it, and then this morning, I mean, I kind of had a good day yesterday. Probably drank too much coffee. I think I had 4 coffees yesterday, or I mean, sometimes I'll drink more. I'll drink a lot of coffee, and it's black. So for right now, I'm I'm gonna get some more coconut milk. I miss it. So, and I've been carnivore for a year as of the 23rd. So yay, yay me! I did a whole year, and I'm still gonna do carnivore or animal based because it works well for me. My MS symptoms are in remission mostly. Um, I feel like I get stronger all the time. I do have energy issues. And I know on carnivore, a lot of people say, well, eat more fat. Well, I tried that. And I can, but like I can't eat eggs. And here comes Wendy. I can't eat eggs. I don't know. I'm turning it around, but I don't know if you're going to get to see her. Uh, I can't eat eggs, so I can't do that. And I can't have milk and dairy, so I can't have cream. Whoops! Here she go. Whoa, 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 there she is. Hey, big girl. Where you at? Hi, big girl. You having fun exploring, huh? What a good girl. Good girl. You be careful. It can be dangerous down in the canyon. There can be animals down there. Okay? You be really careful. So, who's that? Rocket Van Life. Hey, man. Stopping by to say good morning. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Happy New Year to all as well. Heard talk about the weather there. That's nice. Here it's 1 degree wind chill and minus, okay, -5. I mean, -9. Gotcha. Cold, Shadow Wolf. Cold. But good morning. Welcome. Yes, it's really pretty nice here right now. We have moments when it can be cold and ugly. So I had that kind of hard time at farmers market yesterday, and it was really me more than anybody else, I guess. But whatever, got through it. And then I come to drive home, and I couldn't get home. The rancher dropped a new herd of cows that's a little aggressive right at the intersection of two roads that I have to turn on to get to my place. That intersection has always been a big puddle when it rains. So it's been iced over but puddly for a few weeks. And all these young bulls are play fighting and trying to charge my car yesterday. And I'm safely trying to maneuver around this big puddle, and I have 6 inches between my car's mirror and an old ranch fence line. And the other side, I had 8 inches on the other side of my tire before I would a 2-foot drop off down into the muck. And no cell phone signal, and backed up, tried to go forward. The bulls trying to charge the car, and they had horns. So like, yeah, don't poke my car because that's gonna hurt. And then the mama and baby cow decide to do a nursing thing right in front of me. So no cell phone signal. So I know what we do out here in a lot of off-grid situations. I don't know if you guys know this from the Nomad side of things, but in off-grid situations where your cell phone signal, it comes and goes, send text messages. People will see them when they can. Make them short, make them kind of shorthand, but careful with that because people don't understand things. And so I sent a text message to my direct neighbor because I knew he had come home ahead of me. And when I came in, I was following the herd of cattle. And so I was like, oh, crap. All they did was come right up here to stop there and then challenge me, so I can't get around. So I texted the neighbor and just said the 2 intersection numbers. I shortened them. And help cattle. And a few minutes later, I tried to call. He couldn't understand the phone call, but he got the text message went through. And he drove down with his pickup truck, laying on his horn. And I'd been laying on my horn too, but it wasn't doing me any good. So he's laying on his horn, but he brought some kind of pop gun with him. And he had to fire rounds into the ground to scare him away so I could get through to come home. That's a problem. It was already a problem a couple of years ago when a neighbor blocked the road that had gone over the corner of his property and wouldn't help open up the easement road so that I could have access. So there's some of those things that sometimes happen. I'm looking to see, I see new names. Oh, Robert, Nancy, hey. Thank you. I hope I'm gonna have some positive stuff this year too. True North, way, nice to see you. And Kate, hi, nice to see everybody. So yeah, this whole now that she's explored, she's sitting nearby. Can you see that? Yeah. So so let's see. So yeah, so then there was the cattle thing getting home, and then it was Sabbath, so I was just resting and reading and whatever else, and I was like, you know what? I just am overwhelmed. I forgot that I get overwhelmed just like everybody else. And sometimes there's a little wind, so I don't know if you can hear me clear. But Iris, there are 2 things that need to be done with that cattle situation that I just described. One, I will do this week after payday. Payday's Wednesday for me. I need to go down to the county office and talk to the road people and just get advice and tell them what's happening. I also need to call the ranch guy. I've forgotten what his title is, but there's a county guy that deals with all the ranchers. And I need to find out two big things because the easement roads are on the other side of the old cattle fence. The old ranch fence, rather. That old ranch fence is not attached at either end, it runs out. And these cattle are in the county maintained road often. They're messing up two intersections I have to use to get home, but it's only me. And my other neighbor, it's messing up the corner of his property, but it's his property. And so his responsibility is to fence the cattle out, but he can't afford his fencing yet. I don't know how I can help him afford his fencing so that, him and his family, so that that could change. But the first thing I got to find out is what's the rule about the old fence line? Because it had a break in it once, but there was this 2.5, 3 foot embankment that we needed to cut down so that we could start driving on the actual easement road. And until that can happen, well, anyways, and while I was gone, the rancher came in and fixed that piece of fence. And I'm like, we need to drive on the right part of the road. So I need to go ask some questions, just get a little extra advice before we start messing with it. But I'm trying to get it so we're driving on the actual easement roads and that they're where they belong. And we need like a culvert or something on the other end, the other intersection that's at the county road. It also was a puddle, but it wasn't really where the road was supposed to be. It was about, I don't know, 60 feet over is where it really should have been. And we've started driving on it, but I can't maneuver the ditch. And so I'm going to ask them, can they fix that? Because let the cattle have the ponds, but the lakes that form, or whatever you want to call them, the big puddles. But can you make it so I can get home? And so now they're not going to work on the end roads out in Apache County, because any road that starts with an N number, it is not north. It is non-maintained. And so it's a legal county road, but the county does not maintain it. That's on our the homeowners. So it's a thing. So that happened yesterday too. And so I have some plans to do some of these things, but overwhelm is a thing that happens. Good Lord. And when I get overwhelmed sometimes, well, especially since I've come home this time, it just feels big. And it's the big off-grid projects like the road work that I can't do it by myself. And I don't own a tractor, and I don't want to own a tractor. And, how do I maneuver this? And I don't have a pop gun, and I don't, whatever. How the heck how am I supposed to make this work so I can be okay and keep maneuvering? Because my general stuff, my general camp and all here, the cabin is pretty basic and easy to maintain. Now, last year and 2 years ago, I couldn't climb a ladder. And so I can now, but I couldn't then. And so there's like painting that needs to be finished on my eaves or that's been weathered. And I need to install gutters. And there's things like inside in my cathedral ceiling inside, there's trim that has come loose and needs to be reattached. And there's places where we never had trim to put on. And it needs to be caulked around my windows. I noticed the other day, there's these fuzzy blowfly things that have been coming in, and they're coming in through the cracks in the bottoms of the windows. There's evidently just enough room they've squeezed through or something. And so I know you could see daylight sometimes, but it's not bad. And so that caulking needs to be done, but my hand wasn't steady. So I wasn't able to do a good job with it the last time I tried. I don't know how I'm going to be now, but I'm not ready to do it. Right. But it's like I have all these things and the fencing to keep her in the yard in the back. She's better, but um, the the my water tank, the spigot thing that I got for it. I thought the guy sold me a threaded one. It's not threaded. It pops off. And so it just needs to be fixed, but I have to shove it on there and bang it and try not to break the plastic tank so that I can get the water out of the tank, and I'm okay, but it's just like you start adding all of those things up and it's like, which thing do I work on first? Because I just tired and or weary or something, and being gone so long. I was so grateful to have been around the family up at Boss Customs in Nevada. And I learned that I can be around people and be safe and maneuver and be okay. And it was lovely being able to go in and take a shower in an actual shower. Just turn the faucet on. And then I get back here and I can't make my stuff work. And so, you know, when I'm trying not to make lists, but all those things are on my mind and it's a lot. It feels like a lot. And so a little at a time, I stab at whatever I'm doing and try to keep plugging along. Um, most of you know that years ago, I worked unofficially as an assistant project manager for IBM. And the reason it was unofficial was because they wanted me to finish my bachelor's degree, and I couldn't finish it fast enough for them. And that's when I lost that job. But for 4.5 years, I worked for them and ran some pretty high end project offices and had control over the contracts and the contract books and other than managed other people and things. And it was a pretty high end job and pretty techy involved, and made a good income. The only time in my life made a really good income. Had the support of my project manager, my direct project manager. That that was wonderful to have people actually believe in me and stuff. But I learned some things, and I learned about project management principles. And so when I lost that job and I found myself struggling to get another job, I decided to use those project management principles on me. And so I designed this little map for my life and where I wanted to be in 2 or 3 years, and then in 5 years, and then in 10 years, and then later when I couldn't figure out how far away that was. And I called it my personal project plan. And I learned how important it was for me to make decisions by using my priorities. And so I started off with, let's find what are the priorities I have. And my priorities have to deal with, on the financial end, it's living debt free. On the health end, it is to continue to stay physically active and basically, healthy and thin within my body, and to keep my body strong. At that point, I didn't know I was dealing with MS or autoimmune issues or whatever. I knew I had food allergies and things back then. And then on the mental health side of things, it was very important to me that someday I learned how to develop, and maintain healthy personal relationships. I'm working on that a lot lately, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I have trouble keeping up my communication, calling people in between my Sunday things, right? I feel like I don't want to pester people, and that comes from the trauma of my past or my childhood. And and so because I feel like I don't want to bother anybody and I don't want to pester them, and I don't want to give them my problems or say too much, then one of my project team members includes a therapist and doctors and you guys and friends that are like family, and my Suzuki people who love to, the Zooks of Arizona guys. I miss them terribly. I saw where I think you say his name Karalt, and his family just went back to Poland. But Raz and Ron and the guys from Zooks Off Road in um, Camp Verde. Uh, I love all these guys, and I miss going on rides with them. I'll get to soon because the Blue Tracker is in better shape. So, but how do I maneuver all these changes? My faith is really, really important. I found that sticking to my priorities, keeping my faith strong, and letting myself pray, in my case, talk to God, however I do that. And sometimes that means I'm just outdoors and I'm just talking to it. Or I'm driving and I'm just talking to it. And it's like, I don't know how to do this. I didn't realize I was overwhelmed. I went through it yesterday. Oh, what do I do about the cattle? How do I handle this? Oh, yeah, deep breath. You always get me through it. I don't know what to do. Stuff, whatever. And sometimes it's just a conversation like, man, thank you for how beautiful this is. Or thank you for my sleeping so hard last night. Or for my leg being stronger this morning. Or, whatever. Um, so I find I find that in order to maneuver all the change using those things that I have developed and having kind of a plan. So with my relationships, one plan I have in priority. Oh, this is a very sandy girl. Oh, you out of breath? Oh, is it out of breath? Oh, goodness gracious. Um, but in a personal relationship thing, I defined what I think a good mother is, or a good grandmother for me, or a good sister, or a good whatever. And I continue to like define and imagine what a good, maybe romantic relationship might be like. Now, I'm not like some people are into, well, just, write your romance story, what you want. And I'm like, yeah, no, I could just imagine this or whatever. Um, and, but it gives me a goal to work toward. And so for me, like on the fact of me maybe wanting a personal relationship that's closer and maybe romantic, and maybe I do want that. And if I do, am I being the person that I imagine would be in the relationship that I think would be a cool relationship? That's how I work toward mine. Am I being the kind of mother that I imagine would be a good mother? Am I being, and sometimes because my children are older and they've already had life experiences and whatever, I have to let them be who they are and do what they're doing because it's their turn to do that. Yeah, I get to take responsibility for the things I did in life and the decisions I made all along the way, but there are some things that I can't change for them because it it doesn't even matter anymore that you know because it doesn't even matter anymore that maybe my decision affected them XYZ, but they're now adults and they took on that thought pattern or that habit or whatever after whatever I had a part in. And as much as I'm sorry that I made that decision, I can't change the fact that it was your thought process that led you where you are. And so I'll help you as much as I can, but there's only so much I can do to fix that. Um, and as adults, you guys get to do some of that work on your own. I hope that's coming across the way I mean it, because I'm not trying to shirk my responsibilities as an adult. And I had a hard life, and my kids had a hard life, and I thought I was making decisions to make their life easier, and not everything I did gave them that result. But I'm not going to sit around blaming myself for it. So what's going on your comments here? Why no list? It's a good way to de-stress the brain. It's not no list. It's just right now. I have had times, Mary, when everything was all about the lists. But right now, there's so much. I need to take a deep breath and I need to let it maybe come as an organic. I already know I'm going to do the thing that's in front of me in the moment it's in front of me. And so, deep breath. What's the thing that you're leading me, great creator, to do today? Oh, that. Yeah, okay. You take a deep breath and then all of a sudden it's like that thing's on your mind. You're like, okay, well, all right. I'll work on that today. Okay. Because I think the overwhelm of the list right now, I don't know. Plus, I want to be spontaneous and I want it to organically run. I want it to organically get better and improve, and it is. Oh, here we go, Dusty Girl. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. You are having so much fun. Can you guys? Oh good Lord. She just run and run and run and run. Look at you. Run. That's a happy dog. That's a happy dog. Lots of sand on her feet, but she's a happy dog. So it's not no list. And actually, I do have some lists, but it's like sometimes I also do that thing of like figuring things out in a list. And then the list gets so long, it's like, okay, hold up. It's getting muddy. So, okay, I'm trying to see again. There we go. Let's see. Why no list? I answered that one. Yeah, and sometimes Donna K, that works that way sometimes. Um, and I think that there's periods of times when I have more lists than other times. And like right now, I don't have a place where I want to keep a list. That's a thing too. I like a list where I can see it, but it's like ever since I got back, so much of my thoughts have changed. And ever since I got back, it's like nothing's in the right place. I have piles on the floor. I do not like living this way. I'm very neat and clean and organized and minimalist. And it's like the things that are staring me in the face lately are things, and I hope you understand that as a terminology, but and the things that are kind of bugging me more than anything else is like, the reason that thing isn't working like that is because remember when I asked that guy to do that thing, and this is not a complaint about the person, because they made an honest mistake. Mistakes happen, but now I have to live with that mistake, and it's okay. But it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? So this person who built my bed frame for me, I wasn't going to build a bed. First off, I made the cabin so I could have a hammock inside. I wanted a cotton fringed hammock inside. And I can't get anybody to figure out and put my hammock hooks up for me. So that hasn't happened. I just had a bird land on that tree over there. I know that I cannot It's not letting me zoom in today, but that bird on that branch up there just flew in. And anyway, so when okay, so I had told him I only have two requests since you really want to do this. And yes, this material's here. Go ahead. It won't hurt anything. He goes, look, I know that someday I'll come back and you won't have it anymore. And I was like, well, it's possible. Um, and I'm still using it. Okay. But I said, there's only two things I want if I let you do this. Please, 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 please. As long as it does these two things, I'll let you do it. It must be the same size as the roll-up camp mat that I already own, across the top. And I need to be able to slide these plano boxes underneath. I need 3 slots for plano boxes. I can have one for kitchen storage, one for tool storage, and one for clothes. He got it all built, was all excited, and put it inside the cabin. And it's 1 inch too short. I can't get the boxes under it. So I have never found a container to fit underneath this bed frame. And so every time I look at it, especially now that I came back, every time I look at it, I go, oh, not again. Another thing that he meant well. He did an excellent job on it. I'm not complaining about him. It's just, darn. Yeah, God let it happen. Okay, fine. But it's like, it's a piece of why there's piles, because I can't organize stuff the way I intended to have that bed frame. And so I don't know what the changes I want to make to that. Am I going to get my hammock hung? Am I going to go back to the I think you're getting the idea of what I'm talking about. It's like, but because of that mistake, and it's built with 4x4 legs, so it's not like I can add 1 inch on the bottom. I hunted for ways to do just adding 1 inch on the bottom of the leg so I could then at least get organized, and nothing's working. So I'm like, I don't know what thing to do. I don't know which direction to go. And then, when I drank that cup of tea that I had mentioned in a post on Facebook, and I had such a horrible allergic reaction, I realized that the being so alone thing is a thing, okay? And I don't want it the same anymore. I want to be around more people more often. So I don't want to sell my place. I love this place. And so how am I going to maneuver so that when the weather is bad or when I'm really sick, I can be near more people and a little bit of help? Now, I was fine and I know how to take care of myself pretty well. But it's made me look at travel trailers that could be put in an RV park if I got real sick or something. And I have my eye on one, but I don't have any money for it. I've got an engine to rebuild, and I need to maneuver everyday life. And but I've been looking at it, and it's not selling, and it's one that I could maneuver, I believe. And I'm like, I couldn't tow it with my car, but I could definitely make it into a little cabino cottage that could be placed somewhere or in storage or whatever. And it could be my guest house when somebody came to visit or whatever. And I like the idea, but I don't really need it. But it would be nice. And so I'm conflicted with that one. And and I guess I haven't told you either that I'm going to start trauma therapy here soon. I might have told you last week. Let me check your messages again. Hi, Judith. Yes, Mary, you said, I feel the same way about pestering people. Then I feel rejected when people don't call me, LOL. What a brain circus emoji, you know, I think they're tears or something. I totally agree with you because I feel the same way. I don't want to pester them, but then I feel bad that they're not calling me. And it's like, yeah, but maybe you should call them. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to pester them. And so you go through this, yeah, brain circus. I like that. Yeah. It's this whole, yeah, but do I or don't I? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah. I get it. Um, looks as if you have some nice views out there at my place. I do. Thank you, sir. And Shadow Wolf, you do have an invitation when I'm here to come visit. I know that eventually you probably will come through. Just put the bed frame up on risers. No, I looked at risers and I know risers well, but risers are 5 or 6 inches and I don't want them up 5 or 6 inches. I'm a little picky sometimes, a lot of times. But, I have this artistic, creative side of me, and the aesthetics are important. And the way that I can use something is really important. And bed risers suck. So that's not happening. I could remove the legs and put some other kind of leg on. Or maybe I just go back to the original plan and I try to get my cotton fringed hammock for in there, which is what I wanted. Another interesting development for me is this blue car. It's the first time I have not wanted to make it into a camper. I don't know why. I just don't want to make it into a camper. That's interesting. Yeah, you guys with the 2x4s and stuff, I get you. I hear you. But hey, Judith, by the way, my name is you spelled it with two e's. My name is spelled Lesa. Keep it simple. George, when the time's right, it'll happen. Yes, exactly. That's how I feel about it too. I do the brain circus thing too. I think a lot of us do that brain circus thing. So I don't know that I am being very consistent with my communication about how I process so much change. But I think that the important keys that I wanted you to know were about finding your priorities, because when I found my priorities, that's what has helped me tremendously. And so I can go, well, the decision, I want to do this because it's the dream, right? And if I did XYZ, then I would be doing the dream da 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 thing. And then I look at it again and I go, I would be, but if I go in debt to do it, I'm breaking my own promise to myself to live debt free, which is a bigger priority. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, all right, deep breath. Go with debt free. Okay. Okay, got this. Go with debt free. And so if I think that example kind of shows you what I mean about using the priorities. And well, I could do XYZ, but yeah, but I want to be the family member who can actually leave an inheritance for my children. Well, if I sell the property, well, I could do it in 2 or 3 different ways, but I love it here. So, no. So, there's more than one reason to say no. But a good reason is because, no, I want to be the person who is able, because all the people who had it have gone through it. And they're not even trying to leave anything for a future generation. So, anyways, do you guys have questions and stuff today? And let's show you some more. The sun. You can't really see the White Mountain Range very good today. I could see a couple of hills in the distance, but you can't see the big mountains. It's not clear in the distance the way I sometimes can have it. But how lovely it is it out here. I think I may need to go back to the house and get a drink too. Wendy, where are you, please? Oh, she's over here. She's behind me. She's behind me over there in the trees. Miss Wendy, where are you? There you are. Wave your tail. Silly girl. She's hunting rats. So, um, and so what are you guys working on for your, or thinking about for your change of the calendar year? And, you know, the fact that life is taken, it's another opportunity to look at what we want to do different again and what we want to improve on and change and whatnot. Um, I'm still working with my health, but I'm always going to do that because I ain't going out in a scooter chair and I've been paralyzed, so I ain't doing that. Um, um, I'm going to continue to stab at all the projects I've got here. There really aren't that many, but some of them feel overwhelming because they're so freaking big. And then now I know that Jeremy and his family, they're dealing with their father's ashes, ex-husband's ashes this weekend. So they've got that going on. Jeremy Lemon from Nevada actually got to go home. I have not spoken with him, but I saw a post on Facebook. And so he had a partial amputation. And I'm so happy that he's able to get back to life and get out of the nursing home. I wish him all the best. Um, but, you know, what are we regrouping to do ourselves? Let me see what you said. Tiny GPS, almost ready to quit smoking. There you go. Judith, getting your other hip done. A trip to Key West afterwards. Oh, that's a big plan. And Catherine Cook. Ah, right. Catherine, by the way, thank you for being part of my support system where I can call you physically and talk. That's very helpful. I appreciate you. Catherine and Homer are in Snowflake right now, spending the winter. Not sure what their plans are yet, but their stuff keeps changing too. And you know, when you get hit with a curveball, or or you just are going through the changes thing, um, just remember to take a look at your priorities. Faith is an important thing because, I believe that God or whatever you believe in can guide you in a direction. Sometimes it's guidance by circumstance. And then have your support, have your project team, have your support system, have your friends that are like family if you have them, have your doctors if you need them, have your therapist like I do if it's important to you. Um, and then use your priorities to keep you on track so that you're aiming the way you want to be. I will say, I do not regret the decision, but a mistake I made that I will not do in the future. But a mistake I made was when the Homes on Wheels Alliance minivan broke and I was given the green light to move on from that minivan. I took all the money and reinvested it in a vehicle. But prior to buying that one, I had found my dream vehicle and I almost bought it. And I didn't because I would have had to have gone in debt. And then, how many months later? 3 months later, COVID was real. And I took out a loan to build the cabin. I don't regret the decision, but I wish that I had trusted God and myself enough to have just gotten into my dream vehicle in that moment. I probably would never have built the cabin and I probably would still be in that vehicle. I'm just saying. So, mistake, yeah. But look at what I got. I got this cool cabin. I have skills. Hi, baby. I have skills. I'm capable. I have a new pup of dogs. Um, and and I have all these cool friends, and I found trackers and Suzukis, which I love, which got me connected with a group of people that I can afford the vehicle. I can afford to work on it. I can afford to play with it. And the other vehicle, I might not have been able to do any of those things. So I don't see it all as negative. I have to put you on this side to read. You're going to go. Oh, does that say to Yuma this month? I think that's what it said. Oh, or to Texas this month. Oh, good for you, Donna. Cool. And yes, I saw that with the smart cars as well. And Shadow Wolf, have you seen the um, smart big car? I think is what they call it. The guy he's got two of them now that he turned them into overland rigs. They're so cool. He doesn't go on long trips, but they're very cool too. And yes, a smart car would be cool, but I'd have a little trouble getting it on my property. So, hi B. I'm not regretting building the cabin, but it wouldn't have been my first choice. And it's turned out to be lovely. And I could imagine using it for what I kind of thought it was going to be for. And so I love having company. Um, I love not being all alone. And so the self imposed isolation is changing. And and I have sat long enough. No, my butt's not getting sore. That's a pretty comfortable, wide stool. It's a pretty comfortable. It's a gardening stool, but yeah, I gonna need a little help. I'm probably gonna get it. Wendy, you're way down there. Come on, girl. Wendy, come. So I'm gonna pick up the stool. We're gonna go back toward the cabin. I'd like a drink. So let's walk. Let's walk this way. Come on, Wendy. Let's go get a drink. Let's go have a drink of water. Come on, run, run, run. Look at you, big girl. Come on. Run, run, woo, woo. Whoops. Almost straight up that hill. Oh, she gonna be tired. She's gonna get a good nap later, I think. Here, do you guys wanna let me tilt you down ways so you can see the path a little bit while I'm walking instead of just me? There we go. I love those spiky. They're yucca plant. No, yeah, I forgot. They're cousin to a cactus, whatever they are, and I like them. They're spiky. They're cool. They're sharp. They're really sharp. And yes, all these pretty pieces of things these are all shards from my property. Yes, they are here on the ground, and I would rather not step on them, so I just kick them off to the side or push them over. And so a couple of pieces have been brought over here when somebody was visiting. Most of it, no. I need to landscape this little area because when we have monsoons or big rains, the water kind of washes down that way. And if I made some little, what's the word I want? Some little swales, some little trenching, I could slow the water down, and then maybe I could grow some cactus there or something. So here we come inside the fence with my really poorly maneuvered current gate, but maybe in another week or so I'll have that in better shape. And then The white one will be the newer gate because it's a little more sturdy. But for right now, I just use the two of them to keep the coyotes from coming in after Wendy. This is it's messy right now, but it's the wood pile for the fire pit. My fire pit that I can cook on. And here we come, Miss Wendy. You want to get a drink of water? Oh, my feet are, I can feel the gunk on my feet. Flies are out. All right, here we come inside. I don't know what you guys are seeing. I can't see the screen yet. There we go. Okay. I think I don't know how much I agree with the see, I feel like it's cluttery in here right now. And it's warm though. Well, it's 78. Yeah, it's nice and warm. I'm going to be able to take my jacket off, people. So that comment, the value of home base, I guess some people see it that way. See, I think we need to define what home means to us, because if we don't have a definition, we don't know what we're aiming at. You know, there's that where there's no vision, the people perish thing, comment, saying. Okay, the tripod's stuck again, guys. Sorry. Okay, maybe I should take you off and put you on the magnet. Let me pull you off. Hold on a second. Hopefully you won't slide. And I'll put you on the magnet up here instead. There we go. So, I think our definition of home helps us to prioritize what it is we're trying to accomplish by having something. And I think some of us, like under my normal circumstances, I would not have a home base. But because I want to leave an inheritance for my children, I'm willing to do this. That's been put in front of me. Okay. Because it kind of has been put in front of me. And then you know, where did we come from to this? You know, back when I was first meeting Bob Wells, the van dwellers and stuff like that, I'd already lived in vans, so it wasn't new to me. I'd already been a campground host. I'd already done those kinds of things. So that wasn't the thing that was attractive. Sure, it was attractive to meet people who were similar, but right off in the first month, I met all the people who were just like the bad people in my world. And so that part wasn't helpful to me at all. Well, it was helpful to me now, but in that, okay, you guys want to know what I'm drinking? Sparkling water. This one was cheap, so I got some. And I don't like drinking out of metal cans. It feels weird. But I don't think everybody out there wants a home base or needs. There's lots of people I've met that are out there that were military kids and they just moved all the time and it was life and they're so used to it. They don't want to be any different. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see that as a problem at all. I just kind of thrive on change. Can I learn to thrive on something different? Maybe. Do I need to? Maybe a little bit because of what's happened. At least for this year, I need to, because of finances, I need to kind of be a little careful with my money so that I can get the white tracker, repaired. So I remember my first 2 years on the road really being like
annoyed with this idea of wandering aimlessly. It was useless. And I did not like the circuits that people would make in their life. And that to them was the big thing. It was like every summer, I'm going to be in Flagstaff, and every winter, I'm going to be in Quartzsite. Every, every 2 years, I'm going to run up to Oregon for, 3 weeks or something. And I'm like, why? You're always going to the same freaking place. What good is that? My thing was, if I'm going to go somewhere, I want to see something new. I want to meet somebody new. I want to learn something different. And when I came home in 2010, 11, that timing when I did the hike on the Appalachian Trail and met Bob and all that stuff went on, I was like, yeah, I don't care about a home. That's not even important to me until I got in the van. And then it was like, wait a minute. I miss the idea of a home so bad. I want to make my van feel like a home so I can drive around better in it while I see cool things. Well, nobody understood me. These guys, every time I'd show up and I'd say, hey, can I borrow your saw? No, I have to use it. You have to do it my way. They almost put screws into the gas tank. And they were into raw, nasty plywood that's not finished and not sanded, and they didn't care. And I care. And so then I finally found somebody who understood and thought said she was an interior designer and whatever else. But her and her husband's priority was to make somebody else the van they didn't make for themselves. Well, that doesn't work either. So, but this idea of home base, I think it's okay to share spaces with people, but I don't think it's a good idea to start communities. No skin off my teeth. If you want to go start one, go have at it. But I've lived in them. I've been in them. I've worked on wolf farms in foreign countries. I've done a lot. Yeah, no, it doesn't work well. And so why do that to yourself? And if you're the one who owns the thing, people don't respect it. They come in and they go, oh, Bob says I can do blah, blah, blah. So I can do anything I want. It doesn't matter. I woke up to a guy cutting down one of my live trees with an axe. He didn't ask me. He just cut down a tree without asking. That and the squatter people. Yeah, I 3.5 months I couldn't get rid of these people. I know. No, I'm done. No, you don't come here without an invitation, and you play by my rules. And some people don't like my rules. I'm allergic to freaking things. You gotta respect me. Come hang with me so we can hang together. Because when you're in your camp, you're gonna do it your way, and I can't always hang with you when that's going on. So whatever. Some of you all know I'm allergic to marijuana. I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, but it's not as bad. And I'm smart. So when I want to be around somebody else and I know that they do this and it's their habit and it's okay because they're an adult, they can do what they want to do. I don't have a problem with that. You do you. But when I'm around somebody like that, I skirt them and watch the way the wind is blowing and things like that. So I can be around them. And if I can't, then I leave. That's why you don't see me at Christmas parties. It's why you don't see me at Nomad campfires. It's why I can't be at the lit cactus. Good Lord. Y'all know what the name is. I couldn't even be within, what was it, a quarter of a mile of lit cactus. I was broken out in hives from the weed, and I can't do this. It'll kill me. So so when you come to me, my property or my camp when I'm out camping, I ask that if you're going to smoke your weed or your cigarettes, that you do it inside your rig because that's your home. You do it there and respect me and don't leave me cigarettes on the ground at my property because it's or in my campsite. I don't want to leave and have a park ranger come through and go, oh, Miss Lesa was here again. And oh, did you see the mess that she and her friends left? You know, I've had park rangers say to me, you know that butterfly girl? She was up here. All this shit we've been carting off for the last 2 months is because of her rebuilding vans. You don't want to be the person that's being said, talked about. So, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of went off on that, but yeah, that's true. And there is that whole thing about the way other people view you. And that's why, even though I'm low income, I learned a long time ago to buy my things a certain way and have clothes that look a certain way so that I'm presenting myself in a place where you don't have to decide whether I'm rich or poor or homeless or not. And I try to keep my cars looking decent so that, and washed and whatever else, so that you don't have to decide that. Of course, now with the blue one, it's a little rough. And like it's dinged up. I have a fender with a ding in it, and well, ding, a crunch in one of the fenders. And not fenders, one of the, yeah, it's the fender panel is dinged up on one side, and then a lot of the trim, somebody took drywall screws and screwed the trim back on. So and inside now there's no radio because the radio was shorting out the electric system, and so there's no radio, and there's a big hook and latch screwed into the plastic in the dash to keep the glove box closed. So when I say hoopty, hoopty, if you look it up, there's a definition for it. It's not a bad comment because a lot of people were, oh, Mojave, hi, how are you? Thank you so much for helping me with Wendy. And Wendy is awesome. If you get to, I don't know that you've been here the whole time, but if you get to look back at the video earlier, you get to see Wendy running around on my property. Yes, I agree with you. And that's one of the issues I have with my preference for small vehicles. And the fact that, especially with the white tracker, its rooftop is so narrow and mine's removable fiberglass. We're challenged to find me a way that I can put an awning permanently attached that I can pull out and like put on and add a room. That's what I wanted. And we're really challenged with how that's possible for that tracker. And so I may have to custom make something. There's conversations been had about that. But anyways, because there's lots of times when I just want to get out of the wind, or I just want to whatever, and I don't want to see the people next door. And so especially when I come to places like quartzsite and stuff, which I don't really like. I was over that yawn, in 2011. It was cool, but I'm not a rock person. I don't do country dance. I could. I like to dance, but I don't. What can I say? So, so I hope that whatever you guys are looking forward to in 2024, I hope that you aim that direction and have a wonderful start to a wonderful new beginning. Um, the fact that we're able to think about things and do stuff that way, that's pretty cool. Um, I'm hoping mine comes with less cattle problems and more security, because I've learned that not only was the stability that I found I had over the first few years that I owned the property And the fact that I could come back and it was still here and nothing was messed with. And then, so not only the stability, but um, there's a strength and a stability that I'm finding this time coming back. I don't have this like big excitement like when you're getting on a plane to go to a foreign country or something. There's no big excitement thing going on. But when I come back, it's like, oh, it's still here. It's still okay. Oh, how cool is that? Okay. Now I can relax even more. So yeah. Do you guys have more questions? Because otherwise, I feel like I'd like to go. And I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Tiny and so George and Tammy, Tiny GPS. I hope you're having a good time down there in Yuma. I know that you guys were getting ready to help Rebel Minor with some of his classes. I see Jeremy didn't come out today, or if he did, he's not talking. But I know he has family things to do today, and what else? I don't know about. Don't know. Don't know what else to say, right, Miss Wendy? Oh. And so here's Miss Wendy for Mojave. Look at Miss Wendy. She's a hunter. She's a good girl. She's a Chorky. We didn't know that when I got her. So she's a Chihuahua Yorkie mix. She sheds a little bit, but I'm not allergic to the hair. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, okay, have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourselves. Hit me up on the side if you want to. Eventually I'll do some more video stuff, but you know, phone and I'm busy. Love y'all. Miss y'all. And George, I do need to like work on my solar a little bit. No, maybe one of my cables is bad on one of my portable systems because I was having trouble getting it to charge anything the other day, but then I realized the cord kept being loose. So I may have to look at that, whatever. But we'll do that over the year. Okay. Ciao, everybody. Have a great week and enjoy the start to your 2024, your new year. Be careful if you're going to go do party stuff. You all know I lived in Times Square a few years. I did go to the event in Times Square. I will never do that again. Be careful if you